Hello, movie lovers. Welcome back to The Movie Hunter. Today, we're diving into one of the most groundbreaking and beloved films in cinematic history, The Lord of the Rings: The Fellowship of the Ring, as we celebrate its incredible 25th anniversary. Released back in December 2001, this epic fantasy adventure, directed by Peter Jackson, didn't just adapt J.R.R. Tolkien's timeless novel, it redefined what blockbuster filmmaking could be. With stunning visuals that still hold up today, a perfect ensemble cast bringing Middle-earth to life, Howard Shore's unforgettable score, and a story of courage, friendship, and the battle against darkness that resonates deeper than ever, this movie kicked off a trilogy that changed cinema forever. Over the last 25 years, it has inspired countless films, boosted tourism in New Zealand, pioneered visual effects, and reminded generations that even the smallest person can change the course of history. Stick around as we break down the plot in detail, spotlight the cast, share mind-blowing fun facts and production trivia, revisit the rave reviews and awards, and explore its lasting legacy. If you're a Tolkien fan or just love epic storytelling, this deep dive will make you want to rewatch the entire trilogy right now. Let's journey there and back again. Before we dive deeper into the magic of Middle-earth, I'd love your support for The Movie Hunter. Please like and subscribe. It means the world to me. Thanks so much in advance for joining the hunt. Let's start at the beginning, the origins of this monumental film. J.R.R. Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings was published in the 1950s, with The Fellowship of the Ring as the first volume in 1954. For decades, adapting it seemed impossible, too vast, too beloved, too expensive. Previous attempts, like the 1978 animated version by Ralph Bakshi, fell short. But in the late 1990s, New Zealand director Peter Jackson, fresh off horror comedies like Brain Dead and the heartfelt Heavenly Creatures, saw the potential. Jackson, a lifelong Tolkien fan, partnered with his wife Fran Walsh and writing collaborator Philippa Boyens to craft a faithful yet cinematic script. They pitched it as a trilogy to New Line Cinema, who famously took the risk when other studios balked. Filming all three movies back-to-back in New Zealand from 1999 to 2000 was a gamble that paid off spectacularly. The budget ballooned to around $93 million for Fellowship alone, but the result was pure magic. Now let's recap the plot. Spoiler warning for anyone who's somehow avoided this classic, though after 25 years it's practically cultural scripture. The film opens with a masterful prologue narrated by Cate Blanchett as Galadriel, explaining the history of the Rings of Power. In the Second Age, the Dark Lord Sauron forges the One Ring to rule them all, but it's cut from his finger in battle, eventually finding its way to the hobbit Bilbo Baggins, played by Ian Holm. Fast forward to the Third Age, Bilbo, on his 111th birthday, leaves the ring to his nephew Frodo, portrayed by the wide-eyed and perfect Elijah Wood. Guided by the wizard Gandalf the Grey, Sir Ian McKellen, in a career-defining role, Frodo learns the ring must be destroyed in the fires of Mount Doom in Mordor, or Sauron will reclaim it and enslave Middle-earth. Frodo sets out from the idyllic Shire with his loyal gardener Samwise Gamgee, Sean Astin, and merry cousins Merry, Dominic Monaghan, and Pippin, Billy Boyd. Pursued by terrifying ringwraiths, they meet the mysterious ranger Strider, revealed as Aragorn, Viggo Mortensen, heir to the throne of Gondor. In the elven haven of Rivendell, hosted by Hugo Weaving's elegant Elrond, a council gathers, men, elves, dwarves, and hobbits. They form the Fellowship of the Ring. Frodo as ring-bearer, joined by Gandalf, Aragorn, Boromir of Gondor, Sean Bean, elf archer Legolas, Orlando Bloom, dwarf warrior Gimli, John Rhys-Davies, and the three hobbits. Their quest? Cross mountains, delve into the ancient dwarf mines of Moria, seek counsel in the enchanted forest of Lothlorien from Galadriel, and press on toward Mordor. The journey is fraught with peril. In Moria, they battle orcs and the cave troll and face the fiery Balrog, leading to Gandalf's iconic fall while uttering, "You shall not pass." Heartbroken but resolute, the Fellowship reaches Lothlorien, where Galadriel gifts them hope and foresight. Temptations arise. Boromir succumbs to the ring's corruption, trying to take it from Frodo. The group fractures at Amon Hen. Orc attackers kill Boromir after his redemption. Merry and Pippin are captured. Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli pursue them, while Frodo and Sam slip away alone toward Mordor. The film ends on a cliffhanger of hope and dread, setting up the sequels perfectly. What makes this plot endure? It's not just adventure, it's profound themes of friendship, sacrifice, the corrupting nature of power, and the triumph of ordinary heroism. Frodo's burden mirrors real struggles with addiction or responsibility. Sam's unwavering loyalty is the emotional core. Aragorn's reluctant kingship speaks to duty. Tolkien drew from World War I experiences, mythology, and linguistics, creating a world that feels lived in and timeless. Speaking of the cast, this ensemble is legendary. Elijah Wood's innocent yet resilient Frodo captures the Hobbit's spirit perfectly. Sean Astin's Sam delivers some of the trilogy's most heartfelt lines, like his speech about stories that matter. Ian McKellen's Gandalf is wise, witty, and thunderous, earning him an Oscar nomination. Viggo Mortensen stepped in last minute for Stuart Townsend as Aragorn and embodied the rugged hero, even breaking his toe, kicking a helmet, and using the real pain in the take. Orlando Bloom's graceful Legolas introduced him to stardom, while John Rhys Davies brought humor and heart to Gimli despite being the tallest actor in the Fellowship. Sean Bean as Boromir nails the tragic, flawed hero. His death scene is devastating. The Hobbits, Billy Boyd and Dominic Monaghan, provide comic relief that grounds the epic. Cate Blanchett's ethereal Galadriel, Christopher Lee's menacing Saruman, the only cast member to meet Tolkien, Hugo Weaving's noble Elrond, Liv Tyler's luminous Arwen, expanded from the books, and Andy Serkis's groundbreaking motion capture Gollum in his brief but chilling appearance, all flawless. Even smaller roles shine. Ian Holmes' Bilbo, Saula Baker's Sauron. The chemistry feels real because the actors bonded intensely during the grueling shoot. Fun facts and trivia? Where to start? This production is a treasure trove. Filming in New Zealand turned it into Middle-earth, the Shire and Matamata, Rivendell and Kaitoke Regional Park, the Misty Mountains in the Southern Alps. They built massive sets like Bag End with real furniture and used forced perspective to make hobbits look small. Elijah Wood stood far back from Ian McKellen in scenes. Viggo Mortensen was so committed he slept in his costume, learned swordplay, and kept his sword with him off-set. Sean Bean, afraid of heights and helicopters, hiked up mountains in full Boromir armor for snow scenes. The Fellowship actors, except John Rhys Davies, who sent his stunt double, got matching Elvish 9 tattoos to commemorate their bond. Christopher Lee read the books yearly and was the only one to meet Tolkien. He desperately wanted Saruman and corrected Jackson on stabbing sounds from his WW2 experience. Orlando Bloom did most of his own stunts, surfing with the cast in downtime. They shot principal photography for all 3 films simultaneously, over 400 days, with pickup shoots later. Weta Workshop created thousands of props, 48,000 pieces of armor, 20,000 household items for the Shire. The bigatures, large miniatures, for locations were insanely detailed. Andy Serkis's Gollum pioneered modern motion capture. Howard Shore's score, with leitmotifs for cultures and characters, won an Oscar, recorded with massive orchestras and choirs, including Enya's May It Be. Injuries were common. Mortensen's broken toe, bruised face from surfing, multiple dislocations. Peter Jackson cameoed as a carrot-chomping Bree resident. The extended edition adds 30 minutes, including more Hobbiton and Galadriel gifts. Reviews at release were overwhelmingly positive. Rotten Tomatoes sits at 91% with praise for visuals, performances, score, and world building. Roger Ebert gave 3.4 out of 4 stars, calling it a work of epic vision. It grossed $888 million worldwide, huge for 2001, second only to Harry Potter that year. Nominated for 13 Oscars, won 4. Cinematography, Andrew Lesnie's sweeping shots, makeup, visual effects, revolutionary CGI blend with practical, and original score. Critics hailed it as a landmark. Entertainment Weekly, enchantment when I see it. Some nitpicked pacing or book changes, but consensus, a masterpiece. It elevated fantasy to serious cinema. In the last 25 years, the legacy is immense. The trilogy grossed over $2.9 billion, won 17 Oscars total. Return to the King swept 11. It pioneered digital effects. Massive software for battles influenced everything from Avatar to Game of Thrones. Boosted New Zealand's economy and tourism. Hobbiton is still a hotspot. Inspired the Hobbit trilogy, Rings of Power series, upcoming films like Hunt for Gollum. Motion capture from Gollum shaped characters in Planet of the Apes, Avengers, made epic trilogies viable. Harry Potter followed suit. Culturally, memes like "One does not simply," quotes and speeches, comfort viewing during tough times. In 2021, inducted into National Film Registry. 2026 re-releases of extended editions are selling out, with Hobbit reunions and concerts. Themes of hope amid darkness feel more relevant. Friendship conquering evil, environmental warnings, and Saruman's industrialization. Peter Jackson's vision turned an unfilmable book into the gold standard for adaptations. Faithful yet accessible, emotional yet spectacular. As we wrap this 25th anniversary celebration, The Fellowship of the Ring isn't just a movie, it's a cultural phenomenon that proves great storytelling transcends time. What's your favorite moment from Fellowship? The Balrog showdown? Sam's speech? Drop it in the comments. If you enjoyed this deep dive, smash that like button, subscribe to the Movie Hunter for more epic reviews and analyses, hit the bell for notifications, and share with your fellow ring bearers. Thanks for watching. Until next time, keep hunting those cinematic treasures. Now, Marie.